Avengers Assemble. This is Avengers 3:30, and this issue has got a mind-melting cover with the Avengers. They are drifting in the vast space of emptiness, of the void, of the abstract realm, of the Treyarchs, of endoscopy. What's going on is some cosmic god alien things. They have shown up and they want to judge the Avengers. So they have kidnapped 7 of them and taken them away to another dimension to await their verdict. They have sealed off Thor's magic hammer as well as Big Barda, so that they cannot use them or their powers to try to escape or fight against them. Although, I'd like to note that Kazar here, he should be able to use his magic bracelets, the Kwanzaa bands, to teleport them all away, to escape, but they never bothered to address that. Division, he tries to free Thor's hammer, but he cannot get through the energy field, so instead he concocts a detailed plan to use his and Kazar and She-Hulk's various powers to free the hammer, and that all separating Thor from his magic hammer thing and imprisoning Big Barda. It's quickly just an afterthought. Kinda makes you wonder why they even bothered to write it into the comic. It was a good showing for the Vision at least. And here is the Treyarchs of endoscopy. They all have rubbish names like Hemel or Voog. But this one is a flying, talking pyramid, and that is cool. The Avengers, they try to fight them, but they are obviously outclassed. Then the team, they are separated by the Treyarchs. I am a bit annoyed that Kazar and Big Barda, they should have more of a fight. They're a bit more equipped to deal with these sorts of cosmic villains. So here we have got the Vision, Kazar, She-Hulks, and Scarlett Johansson, who you can barely see because of the inking and the colouring. They have been banished to the void between the universes, whereas Big Barda, Captain America and Thor, they are just sent to what looks like another part of the same dimension. They are attacked by a bunch of aliens, including a Skrull, and then the other ones, they just aren't trapped in a void anymore and are instead in another dimension that looks the same. And they too are attacked by aliens, and Kazar makes a bad pun. Now we cut back to the other Avengers. Don't forget that this all started after an Avengers meeting, so there's loads of them on hand to react to the crisis. Captain Marvel's, the real one, Monica Rambeau, she has assumed leadership of the remaining team. I don't know why Iron Man didn't. He seems like the obvious choice, but it is always great to see Captain Marvel's, the real one, Monica Rambeau, reassume her position as leader. Here we have got Rage, Sandman, Spider-Man, Darth Knight and Hercules Man. This one line of dialogue is all Darth Knight does in this run. This single page scene. Then we have got Rage and Sandman. They get taken away by Alfred to go and get their Avengers ID cards done. So Rage, he goes into like a booth, and then there's Iron Man talking to him. He's taking Rage through how to get his picture taken and that. Apparently, ghetto kids don't know how photo booths work. We'll get back to that later on, because the main plot is obviously the Avengers, them being trapped. And it turns out they weren't being attacked by aliens, it was each other. They were tricked into fighting each other. It was all illusions and that. And I think the metaphysical stuff is a bit wonky in this. It's not as well thought out as it thinks it is. It's all a bit high concept for the sake of it. So the Treyarchs of endoscopy, they have come to the conclusion that the Avengers, they are far too complicated to fairly judge. And then we cut back to Rage, and here is where we find out for the first time that he is actually a teenager. It says he was born in 1977, and this comic came out in 1991. So that would make him 14 if you are incapable of doing that maths yourself. But the thing was, they weren't looking for that. That was the thing. They didn't have any reason to investigate how hard he was. They just took it at face value that he was an adult because he looked like one. So then Rage and Sandman, they get their cards, their Avengers clearance cards. And Rage, he wants to tell his granny the good news. Phones her up, but one of them monsters from the rubbish dimension answers the phone and threatens to hurt Rage's granny if Rage doesn't surrender and come to them. Then Spider-Man walks by and asks what is wrong, but Rage doesn't see anything and he just starts to leave to deal with it himself. But then, before that, the Avengers are returned by the Treyarchs, and everything with that whole plot line seems wrapped up in a neat, tidy package. And we end with Captain America and Thor. They discuss the Treyarchs and that they have noticed that they are contradictory and their intentions doesn't seem to make much sense. And then we end with the Treyarchs talking amongst themselves, revealing their true nature and how they intend to banish all of Earth because it breaks the universal balance of order and chaos or something like that. Next issue, the conclusion. Oh boy. We've got a letters page here. People effing love Rage. First one here, loves Rage. Second one here, loves Rage and hopes that he will make an impact with regards to representation. And the third one here is probably written by a black extremist who loves Rage so much he wants Rage to take over leading the Avengers after a single appearance just because Rage is black and Rage don't take shit from Whitey. These letters are interesting though because, well, they might have been purposely selected, but I have only ever seen people saying how much they really hate Rage and they hate Rage as an Avenger. But here, it's the opposite. This is a confusing one. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it feels a bit like a Shaggy Dog story that didn't really matter. Like, a lot of stuff was happening, but then it was undone, and the writing seems to think that it is a lot more clever than it is. I think it could be done a lot better and it could make better use of its time, but it's not bad. It's not the best. It's alright. I rate it 7 thumbs up.